Hi everybody. This video I'm going to be talking about what if Deku had the perfect battling quirk. Uh, in all honesty, his quirk is basically just Spider-Man's superpowers without the ability to stick to walls. Okay, uh, let's get into it. Um, so for this one, his quirk only activates when he's in a fight, and what his quirk registers as a fight is completely up to me. So it's gonna be a little weird. So although uh, the entire main plot up to the Sludgeville incident with Bakugo is going to be the exact same. The only minor difference is Izuku has that has that bone that signifies he does have a chance to have a quirk. That's about it. Now, getting to that scene where Deku runs in trying to help Bakugo, because his quirk will activate. Because his quirk registers that the heroes are in a fight against the sludge villain, and Deku's trying is running into it. So it will activate, giving him a very slight boost to his overall speed and strength. Like minor, he can lift up like 2 pounds and run a couple seconds faster. 2 pounds extra and run a little bit faster, a couple seconds. Now, it pretty much plays out the exact same, and as Izuku tries to basically dig Bakugo out of the sludge villain, his quirk. Okay, let me explain a little bit more of it quick. His quirk is basically a in an aura that envelops his body that he can reshape into anything he wants. If you saw the thumbnail, and it's basically works like if I had to describe it, his fighting style is like Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, mixed with Spider-Man's abilities, with his own mixed in there. So as he's trying, because he wants to dig Bakugo out of the sludge villain, he's his quick's actually gonna make claws for him like a mole, and tries to dig Bakugo out. And as he gets like a good shot, he able to get Bakugo's leg out, and Bakugo can actually like grip the floor. Uh, All Might, the sludge villain's gonna try to attack Izuku, and All Might's obviously gonna step in like in canon, grab Bakugo and Midoriya and pull them out as he punches the sludge villain so hard he changes the weather. But because this is the first time Izuku's ever actually used his quirk, he gets a nosebleed because this is a lot for him, for his body to undergo. It's like somebody in their mid 30s, running a marathon. Yeah, they can do it without training. Yeah, they can do it, but it's gonna be a lot. They're gonna collapse at the end of it. And as Suzuku's like barely he breathing heavy with the nosebleed, he obviously gets scolded by the heroes on scene, and from there everything is the exact same from start to finish where the entrance exam is. I There's not really much to change, but well, I can't explain what would happen if what would happen because it's the exact same since he can't really use his quirk outside of battle. Well, he can, but it takes as a ton of energy. He's gonna be so tired afterwards. Uh, By the end of it, yes, he's gonna have one for all, but one for all just makes it easier for him to actually use his quirk outside of battle. Now, actually, let me explain a little more detail what his quirk does. So, his quirk is a deal energy that's around someone whenever he's in a fight, and it will activate on its own, acting like danger sense, where it will warn him that there's an attack coming. But unlike danger sense, it's gonna actively move him and choose the path that would lead Izuku having the least damage taken. So if he's about to get shot, and there's like a small ledge that's nearby. And there's a river on the other side of the ledge. He's gonna he's gonna go go towards moving to the jump off of the ledge because it's gonna do a lot less damage and can actually free himself instead of getting shot. And his quirk shapes to what he's trying to do. Like what happened with the Sludge villain, he was trying to rescue Bakugo, so he was trying to dig Bakugo out of the Sludge villain. His quirk made claws by his hands, wrapping around his hands, making claws. If he wanted to swing, they would make really stretchy, large hands that he can swing around. He, it's pretty simple. But one other thing it has, he has the ability to land critical hits. Now, the way the critical hits work is, since his quirk relies heavily on how much the endurance of the user, it drains a lot of energy because of that. So every time he lands a critical hit, it's the same as landing a black flash. His energy reserves completely go back to being full, and that's that. But it, every every critical hit he lands, it's easier for him to land a critical hit. So it goes from a 1% chance that it will land a critical hit to a 10% chance. Then if he lands another critical hit, then it's 20% chance, and so on and so forth until it gets 100% chance. Now, obviously, there are spots in the human body that would hurt a lot and would hurt or even leave you paralyzed if you hit them, like pressure points or like someone getting hit in the head or the rib. Those land automatic critical hits. So those help him to manage getting critical hits more often when he's obviously not actively landing critical hits. Plus, it plus his quirk does provide a just to boost his overall physical stats, from everything from his senses to his overall body healing ability. So something that would take him normally 2 weeks to heal, it would take around like half that time, like 1 week. Just overall doubling his human body. Except his speed and strength, they'll just get like a 1.5 modifier, if I had to explain it. Now, since Zuku still easily passes the test in the Iwa entrance exam onto the practical exam, since him and Bakuyo are still gonna be, in the same, in completely different sections, he it's gonna play out it's gonna play it like in Canon where Bakuyo was like, "How the hell did you get in?" And I'm gonna explain how. Now, since this is up against robots and he's still fighting them, gonna be fighting them, his quirk's gonna automatically be active as soon as he runs through that gate. Playing just out like in Canon where Ida's like, "Do not, you're gonna distract that girl over there." And obviously, as soon when the gates open and Duke gets in, he sees the one pointer running towards him, and instead of being frozen in there, he actually uses his quirk to basically just to place his hand out, grabbing the one pointer by its head, and basically slamming it into the ground, easily getting a 1 point. And he's surprised that he can do that. It's that strong. That robot's head is like caved in. That it's pretty hard to repair that. And he's and obviously Prismatic says like there's like 7 minutes left or something, like, and Zuko like snaps back like, right, I have to get points. And so he's actually trying to do stuff with his quirk since he doesn't normally have the chance to actually train his quirk. Trying to swing around from building to building, getting a couple points here and there, getting around a solid 40 points before they sent out the 0 pointer. And obviously, Zuku not gonna try to test his luck with the 0 pointer. Is gonna run, but he hears a girl scream, and his body instantly turns back around, and he runs straight towards her. Just like in canon, him using one for all to absolutely destroy the robot. His body trying to, his quirk trying to stop him from absolutely destroying his body, but he's determined to save her, so there's nothing his quirk can do. It's all since he's actually going to be falling to the ground with his one still intact arm. He's going to use it to grab into the to grab into a building and just swing and basically slowly fall his way down there, getting onto the floor. And obviously, he's still gonna get the total 70 hero points. No, not 70, 60 hero points, along with the extra 40, giving him a total of 111 points, 110 points, easily getting first place. And yeah, when he gets to class, when obviously it when he gets his your acceptance letter, he's he's genuinely happy to hear that he passed, and still crying because he can't believe he actually had a quirk and he actually made it into UA. Now, a couple days go by. He obviously gets all his stuff figured out for his school, his uniform, his hero suit, which is actually gonna be inspired by it's actually gonna look very similar to Miles' suit from uh, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Uh, when he does that, and when he jumps off that building, and the screen flips upside down, and make it look like he's flying upwards instead of falling down. That's Izuku's hero suit, along with that's it. But replace the black with with the nice green, with nice like deep forest green. As Izuku's, like trying to find Class 1A, he gets there, obviously still running into seeing Ida and Bakugo arguing over Bakugo putting his legs on the table. Mm. Him and Uraka quickly chatting before Azawa wakes up and says, "Everybody shut up." Ugh, you guys are so noisy. Then just tells them, "Put these on, meet me outside." Ugh. I can't believe these kids are so goddamn loud. As they get outside, obviously, they're all surprised on how, like, especially Kirishima, how surprisingly strong Izuku is, because his quirk already makes him a little stronger, it makes actually building muscle a lot easier, along with him actually being buff, because of all that, because the training, almost during the 10 months. Now, as they, get into the things. They do the things. They do the hero app, the quick apprehension test, and Izuku scores all right for the first couple. He managing to use his quirk in the speed portion to the speed portion, going a little faster. He's still like incredibly tired, and Bakio's still looking down on Izuku's like. Hmm. So he did actually have a quirk, and he wasn't pulling my loot. So how the hell did that bug have a quirk? He's gotta be hiding something. Because whenever Deku's using his quirk, the screen the energy that's coming off of him is like that teal a teal light blue to show he's using his quirk, and he's gonna be using it on his leg. So anybody seeing that's like, huh, getting a little faster. Then we're gonna him easily being able to just straight up crush the grip strength machine. Him doing all right on the long jump, side steps, and every other ones. Now on to the ball throw. Obviously, Bakugo gets the exact same amount as in canon. Thinking there's no way Izuku's be super gonna be do super well. Now he knows he has to get a good score because he thinks he's probably gonna be last place. So he's gonna use one for all with his normal quirk. But just like just like normal, as I was gonna be like, if you have to break your bones in order to be useful, you have to break your bones and rely on other people. You're gonna be useless in a fight. And declaring that he still does what he does in canon, but using his quirk called battle focus, to he uses one for all first, launching the ball up really high before then using his quirk battle focus to grab the ball out of there, swing it Mario Bowser 64 style, absolutely yeeting it as around 1,500 meters. Everybody being surprised because they knew he was strong because what they saw in the entrance exam. Bakugo incredibly being super surprised that Deku managed to pull it off and still tries to hurt Deku and ask him to explain what happened. But Aizawa, having none of that, obviously stops Bakugo before he does anything stupid and threatens him with expulsion. And Zuko just gets alright, gets like the like he's 15th place. Didn't do too bad. Uh, on to the hero versus villains fight. Still the exact same pairing. Uh, Izuku and Ochako going against Bakugo and Ida. Nothing too much changes. Um, the fight plays out very similarly, but this time Izuku uses his quirk to wrap the capture tape around Bakugo, while also using an attack to knock him back. Bakugo then being captured, he's like super pissed, and he so badly wants to blow Izuku up sky high, but his gauntlets aren't fully charged, and he's captured anyway, so there's nothing he can really do. As Ochako and Izuku are going up trying to find where Ida is with the bomb, and obviously, Ochako still laughs her ass off at Ida getting into his villain persona for the fight. And since they're tag teaming, they instead of just fighting him normally, they both lean into being heroes. And Zuko actually scolding is Ochako mid fight and like, you really shouldn't laugh at the enemy. At least giggle. It's okay to giggle, but make sure it's not super loud. Before teaming up and easily capturing Ida, and actually no, they Ida rushes towards them. Then Izuku face basically bitch slaps Ida into the wall, into one of the pillars, before using his work to grab the bomb and pull him towards it. And All Might saying, "Hero team wins," easily beating them without Izuku having to use one for all at all. And he's doing fine. everybody noticing that you he didn't do too bad in that fight. He was pretty easily dodging all of Bakugo's attacks without even really seeming to try all that much. Plus having easily dispatched of Ida, and yeah, they say Izuku would have gotten MVP if Ida didn't actually prepare uh prepare well for them, but still losing, but it's fine. Obviously, they wrap up. Everybody else wraps up their fights. It's all's well ends well. But Izuku doesn't tell Bakugo that he has a borrowed power, since since he really wants to tell Bakugo, but he had already left by that time, and Izuku not knowing when he should tell Bakugo, plus Bakugo not doesn't want to talk to Izuku, just it just doesn't want to deal with anything. And from there, nothing too bad changes. Obviously, we get the too much changes. When we get to the when up to the USJ. Now, in the when they get there, obviously they have the exact same speech, and Izuku, uh, notice noting that yeah, his quirk is pretty strong and could hurt somebody, but it's not too bad. So he basically just like listened to like half of it before like zoning out to a Hero 13 speech before noticing that there's villains the villains over there, and like asking us out, are, are there anybody? Was there anybody? I thought it was just gonna be us, mm, us. And why is there more people coming? And it's like stay, and Zawa's like clicks his tongue, and it's like everybody stay here. Hero 13 protect them. I'm gonna go fight the villains. And Gurgiri, everything plays out just like in canon. Nothing too much changes. It's pretty much the exact same. It nothing really changes. Obviously, they get that week off where they get to train, and Izuku's training harder than ever, making sure he can actually use his quirk properly outside and inside of battle, more effectively than ever. Sneaking out in the middle of the night to actually train on how to swing properly, since since he noticed when he was swinging in the entrance exam, he was pretty sloppy, pretty obvious. So he's trying to limit how much energy he uses on swinging. Honestly, just getting a lot better using his quirk in mobility and making sure he can actually do pretty well. Also working on a move like a Gangbang rocket from One Piece that Luffy has, using that to blast off, and using the quirk uh, like a parachute to glide down. Doing that for the rest of the week. So also going to the gym every now and then. Uh, uh, yeah. Plus looking up tutorials on how to fight. Nothing too much. Obviously they still go to the sports festival still happens, and there there nothing in the sports festival changes too much. The only difference is since Zuko got 140 points, not 140, 110 points during the entrance exam. um he gets to give the speech because he got first place. uh, pe- but he doesn't say anything too crazy. It's like a pretty bland speech, but he got it over with, and it's that. The exact same events are happening, and since Suzuka was training that whole week on his mobility, since he thought his fighting was pretty fine, plus there was nothing he could really do to help with that. His mom wasn't gonna obviously his mom obviously wasn't gonna let him fight people, so yeah. On the obstacle course. He tells Bakugo that he's gonna win this, and Bakugo's like, "You think so, huh? I'm gonna steal first place and easily win this. You're gonna probably end up last, Deku." And yeah, Izuku easily using his work to basically cling onto the to just push off the ground and launch himself over everybody else in the tunnel. Then using his quirk to just grab onto the end of the tunnel and just launch himself out using that same rocket move he was training on during that week, blasting off. Using the trees outside of the track to help adjust, and also him just straight up using his quirk to help him run faster, and using one for all a little bit because over the week he learned how to use 2%, which was not a lot, but it was something. Izuku easily uh, getting past everybody else, uh, as Todoroki was gonna freeze everybody still. His quirk would activate as he would just jump out of nowhere, and him wondering why he had just jumped, and when he lands on the ground, seeing that there's ice everywhere, like that was a close one. I almost got stuck by Todoroki. Him going on to get to the part where all the 0 pointers and all the other pointers are, just using his work to just climb over them and body a few of them here and there because they were getting in his way. Even using the rockets of the 3 pointers to basically just climb his way up to the 0 pointers, going over them easily. He's still like in first place at this point. Him running past everybody else were struggling. Mm. Todoroki, like he's getting mad that he's still in second place. President Mike absolutely hyping up Zuku and everything. And they were in the background, very much pissed that Todoroki's losing right now. And when they get to the all the whole part, the yeah that part, Izuku just grabs into the wires and starts swinging around like Tarzan with his quick, getting to the end, easily getting to the minefield. It's like, how the hell do I do this? Deciding not to do too much, just walking there, like jogging pretty very carefully to make sure he doesn't step on a landmine, and getting like halfway through before Todoroki comes in. It's like, damn, damn it, he's too far ahead of me. Before starting, it was like, this ice pass will help others, but I don't plan on losing. Like using his ice to get right up next to Izuku as Bakugo's flying in from the top using his explosions. And it's like, don't you dare count me out, Icy Heart and the Deku. And the crowd not expecting that. Uh, and especially not expecting Bakugo to say that both of them can burn in hell. No. Now, Deku's still in the lead. Um, Dodo and Mako are just behind him. So he decides to do a pretty risky move and decides to use his quirk on his legs to basically do a super jump, along with using 2% of one for all to get even higher, and also the explosions of the landmines to blast them all the way over to the end of the minefield. Is Quirk making a cushion, cushioning the landing for him, and yeah, he easily wins that first part. The Cowie battle we're not gonna talk about. There's nothing too much to say. He's they win the exact same way as in canon. Uh, Now on to the final part of the UA Sports with the one-on-one battles. Uh, the exact same thing happens with Shinzo. He easily, him and Shinjo Shinjo, Shinzo, Shinzo, uh, Shinzo loses, Zuko wins. On the Todoroki. This one's gonna be a little interesting, since Todoroki's gonna start, throwing ice geysers at him and explaining that he doesn't plan on losing to him, especially not even, especially because of the fact that his dear old dad's watching. Now, Zuko, dodging ice geysers, using his quirk, he's basically, jumping over some, getting as close as he can to Todoroki, as Todoroki is using his ice to glide around. And the crowd is honestly surprised that Isugu's holding his own at this point, because they weren't expecting a Squirk to be able to do all of that. Stretch, even make weapons. He's even making a couple weapons here, like pickaxes to help him climb some of the ice that's got pretty high, and using it to jump off. And he using and Deku got close to having Deku fall and hit the ground on the floor outside of the ring. But using one of the ice guys, Zuko uses Book to grab onto the top of it, pulling himself up just before he hits the ground. Just before he was about to hit the ground, he gets launched up. As Zuko then uh, uses tries to go for a 5%. Tries to go for a 5% flick, because he was trying to get to that, but accidentally using 100% and actually breaking his fingers, blowing Todoroki, trying to put up an ice wall to help block it behind him and in front, but almost getting ringed out. But because all the air pressure, he got closed his eyes, and Izuku using his quirk to leap off and basically cling to the ground, pulling himself forward fast, super fast. Managed to get like a good distance away from Todoroki. He's about to come in, as using his quirk to make a giant hand and basically mega punching him, mega punching Todoroki, and as the ice breaks, as Todoroki hits the back of the it's the wall. Izuku winning. Todoroki realizing he can't just rely on his ice for everything after that fight. Not having the exact same conversation as in canon, but a little similar. Now on to his fight with Bakugo. Now Bakugo being pissed off for still being pissed off for what happened in the Hero vs Villain battle, along with him being pissed off that Deku still managed to get this far and beating him in the obstacle course. Bakugo would have liked to use his gauntlets to just absolutely blow up Izuku, but he knows he can't do that since he didn't make it himself. Whew. Bakugo flying in as Izuku uses his quirk to basically grab Bakugo out of the air, slam him to the ground, as Bakugo does actually pushing himself and using an AP shot just to hurt Deku, as he creates a barrier using his quirk. The AP shot just getting nullified, as Zuko basically gives him the Hulk treatment before throwing him outside of the ring. Well, not like fully throwing him, but like give him a light toss. Izuku easily claiming first place in the sports festival. Everybody cheering for Izuku, and his mom crying crying so hard. uh, well, while she was watching it. And that's where I'm gonna end things off. See you guys later.